Tonight, work stops on installing new speed cameras in Ottawa, but the city not ready to deactivate photo radar just yet.
We're very fiscally responsible on this, and we're using this program for what it's intended.
A motion at City Hall to continue to push the province on a compromise and hold on to cameras in school zones. A knock on the door that has now cost one homeowner time, money, and headaches.
We're very trusting sometimes, and we perhaps shouldn't be as trusting as we are.
Out $90,000 and now a police investigation underway. We'll tell you why. And parents pushed back hard when the Ottawa Carleton District School Board introduced a massive overhaul.
Exactly what is changing and what is the timeline of those changes, and what does that look like and what does that mean for students, their families.
With the plan fully scrapped, is there relief tonight? Good evening. We begin tonight with a new development in the photo radar debate. The city is now halting all work to install new speed cameras as the Premier moves to ban them. But councillors are not ready to let the program go and are fighting to keep those cameras in school zones. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us live in studio with more. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, the city was set to spend $1.7 million to install 24 new cameras this fall. Now, while some of the work has already been done, we're learning tonight that late last week, city staff instructed contractors to stop installing any new cameras until further notice. This is where one of the city's new speed cameras was set to be installed this fall. Construction at the Manotick Main Street site halted after the Premier announced a plan to ban photo radar across the province. A move not everyone agrees with.
It's been a big help. It's really slowed down traffic.
Nick Robinson lives across the street from one of the cameras in the Glebe.
We've seen an improvement here on this street. It used to be a bit of a drag racing road.
Premier Ford calls the cameras a cash grab and says he's not backing down from his plan for a province-wide ban.
Over 80% of those surveyed were supportive of the automated speed enforcement cameras within school zones.
But councillors want to see them stay in some areas. Tim Tierney introducing a motion Wednesday calling on the province to allow municipalities to keep the photo radar programs in school zones.
We want to work with the government. We think there's an opportunity to show that we're very different, we're very fiscally responsible on this, and we're using this program for what it's intended.
50 of the 60 cameras operational in the city have been installed in school zones, and the city is planning to install 24 more of them across the city this fall. Like this camera recently put up on Fisher Avenue, a city source confirming to CTV Ottawa, it, along with the other new cameras, will not be turned on after the Premier's announcement, and all installation work is now on pause.
I don't agree with Premier Ford on this. I say that respectfully. We're not going to agree on everything, but on this we disagree.
Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says he hopes the Premier changes his mind.
I see the evidence, and the evidence shows that speed cameras are effective. They reduce speeds in school zones and in other places where they've been deployed.
The Ontario legislation would require municipalities to replace the cameras with large warning signs, flashing lights, and speed bumps.
There's pros and cons to both situations, but in the big scheme of things, traffic cameras serve a purpose.
They work. They're evidence-based. I have been caught by it, and it sucks to pay it, but also now I know to be more careful. So I think they're worth it.
While the province will not pay municipalities for the cost of removing the cameras, Ford says new legislation will include compensation for those municipalities to terminate contracts already in place to install them. Now, Tierney's motion will be debated at the next council meeting on October 22nd.
Well, it's interesting, Kimberly, as I'm watching there, it seems in previous stories we've heard from a lot of people who are really frustrated by getting dinged by the cameras, but today it seems like you were finding when you mentioned school zones, that reaction really changes.
Exactly. When we spoke with people who've been nabbed by speed cameras, myself included, they say they were upset that they got caught, they had to pay a fine. But when we're specifically talking about keeping them in school zones and keeping kids safe, everyone seems to be on board with the plan.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. More details on the ongoing photo radar debate. Lots of stories about photo radar online. And again tonight, the push to keep them in school zones in Ottawa. Well, an Ottawa homeowner is out $90,000 after falling victim to an alleged contractor scam, a small home repair turning into a nightmare. And now she's sharing her story, hoping to stop this from happening to someone else. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us now with the details on this. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, police say it's one of the most common scams in the city this time of year. Contractors going door to door, offering to help, then vanishing after pocketing thousands.
This was fine, and all of a sudden, we've got cracks and missing pieces, which...
It started with a knock at her door in August and a man offering to repair the cement along her house, a simple job, or so Jocelyn Calos thought.
We needed a bit of parging. He said, well, we're working down there, we're very willing to help you out.
He told her he was with a company called HomeSense Contractors, offering to do the work for $11,500. But soon after, the price started climbing.
They had two guys dig up right down to the bottom of the basement. They kept saying there was another problem and they needed more money. Foolishly, we gave them more than we should have.
By the time the digging stopped, Calos says she paid $90,000. Instead of repairs, she says she was left with more damage and the workers never came back.
They injected something under the house and we don't know what they put in. It was a horrendous mess. I mean, it was just a ridiculous job.
Then came another knock, this time from a man calling himself Kevin Smith, claiming to be a City of Ottawa inspector.
He had an official tag on saying he was an inspector of the city, and then on the reverse, he'd been a former police officer.
She says he recommended another company, Harbor Trade Construction, to fix the damage. A company with no phone number, no address, and no website linked to Ottawa, asking for another $43,000, which she refused to pay. And the city confirms no inspector ever visited her home.
Now we have to get the whole thing redone because we realize now that we've been defrauded royally.
CTV News tried contacting HomeSense Contractors, but their listed number went straight to voicemail, and their address on their website leads to an unrelated business. Police say they are investigating, and this kind of scam isn't rare.
This is actually the biggest one that's going around, and it comes around in the spring and it comes around in the fall. It goes by different names: the Irish paver scam, the construction scam, the roof scam, and it's pretty much all the same scam. They give you a price, and then the price keeps escalating, and then they eventually just walk away.
As for Calos, she says she's not only out of money, but has no idea how much it will cost to fix the damage left behind.
By bringing this attention to many other people, particularly older people, that, you know, we're very trusting sometimes, and we perhaps shouldn't be as trusting as we are.
The city says it's now exploring licensing for contractors. There is no timeline or guarantee it would have helped in this case, but police say the best protection is to get multiple quotes and never hire someone who just shows up at your door. Patricia?
Absolutely. All right. CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it looked like there was going to be a Canadian celebration in New York City last night, but they love to spoil a visitor party in Yankee Stadium, and Game 3 took an unfortunate turn from the dominating performance from the Jays in Toronto.
It's a drive down the line. If it's fair, it's his moment. It is!
6'7" Yankee superstar Aaron Judge making his presence felt last night. A 3-run homer tying things up, erasing the Jays' early 6-1 lead. They followed the Yankees 9-6 in Game 3, but with another chance to finish the series off tonight. And CTV's Sean Leathong joins us again live from New York, where Game 4 is set to get underway in under an hour, an earlier start tonight. Sean, describe the atmosphere in Yankee Stadium this evening, where New York fans have to be loving this momentum swing.
Yeah, the ballpark is buzzing as fans are filing in right now, and it really is a shift in tone for the fans specifically, because last night could be described as nervous energy early on and then complete quiet in the bottom of the first when Vladdy Guerrero Jr. hit that 2-run home run that put the Jays up 2-0, and then they built on that in the third inning, going all the way up to 6-1 when it looked like the Blue Jays were in cruise control. and then the Yankees came on. They started chipping away, and then there was that home run by Aaron Judge tying the game at 6, which completely flipped the script and flipped the switch on these fans. They were completely elated, and they were loud for much of the game last night. We heard it from fans today. Their confidence is way up. They think that the Yankees will do it tonight and take the series back to Toronto. But what has to be noted is their backs still are against the wall. It is one game for the Yankees that they do have to win. If the Blue Jays bring their best tonight, it's all over for them, Patricia.
Can the Blue Jays bring their best tonight? There was a big debate about whether the starter was pulled too early last night, going to the bullpen tonight. What are the chances that Toronto can get it done in New York this evening?
Well, it's interesting because the bullpen for the Blue Jays has been a weak spot in the last little while, and I mean the last 2 games, because you remember Game 2, they got knocked around a little bit. They gave up 7 runs, but the Blue Jays had built up a 12, 13-run cushion, so it wasn't a problem. Last night it became a problem when they gave up that 5-run lead and didn't have any answer for the Yankees. It seemed like they couldn't get anybody out. But doing a bullpen day, like we said, Louis Varland will get the start for the first couple of innings for the Blue Jays. And the idea is that every couple of innings, they will change the pitcher and try and keep the Yankees off balance. This is something that has worked in the recent history for the Blue Jays. They did it a few weeks ago in the regular season against the Boston Red Sox in a game that they did win 6-1. So Blue Jays manager John Schneider is betting that they can keep the Yankees off balance for this one, hoping not to send the series back to Toronto, Patricia.
Well, here's what we do know. You're coming back to Toronto one way or another tomorrow, whether it's for a Game 5 or not. But thank you very much for this. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Still ahead, the Jays with another chance to end it in New York tonight, but will the Yankee batters blow up Toronto's bullpen? We look ahead with CTV's Sean Leathong coming up.
Well, everything is fluid at Yankee Stadium, so we just finished talking to Sean Leathong because at Yankee Stadium, they were going to tell him he had to head outside as the broadcast was getting close to getting underway. So there you go. That's the world of live TV. As we take a look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, 11 degrees out there right now, and certainly felt cooler today, a fall day. Maybe a little bit of a chill over at TD Place, where Jackie Perez is now, taking a look at the weather for us. Jackie?
I think I would say fair to say it's a little bit more than the chill. It's very cold. If you are coming down to the game, kickoff is at 7:30, so that's well past the sunset. So bring a thick jacket because there's this crazy wind tunnel that's happening. So not quite warm or the hot weather that we experienced earlier this week. Temperatures across eastern Ontario sitting between 10-15 degrees. So along the Seaway, sitting around 15 in Kingston, Brockville, as well as Cornwall. Pembroke, 12 degrees. Bancroft sitting at 10. Meanwhile, Petawawa at 12 degrees. And then it's going to get a lot cooler as we head into the overnight. Yeah, there's a frost advisory in effect for parts of eastern Ontario, not here for Ottawa, but we are getting close to the freezing mark. Starting things off in the morning, it's going to start off at 2 degrees and only getting up to about 11 to 12 degrees. And we've got those northerly winds coming in, making the wind much colder than what we are used to. And the temperatures will continue to drop for the overnight lows throughout the week. Fall is here, folks. Hate to say it, but again, it is October 8th, so we are in it now. And the thing is that we are going to be enjoying a stretch of some sunshine well into the weekend where we could see a little bit of rainfall. We will have those details and more in a bit, Patricia.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, there is more uncertainty for parents and students in the Ottawa Carleton District School Board tonight after its supervisor canceled the controversial overhaul of its elementary programs. While some are relieved, others say there are still more questions than answers. CTV's Katie Griffin here with more. Katie?
Well, Patricia, we reached out to ask some of those questions to the supervisor that's taken over and have been told multiple times he's not doing interviews. This comes as a decision to not live stream committees, has parents questioning transparency and accountability.
For Kayla, Furnett, and other families, there is relief.
Because something of this magnitude really needs to make sure that we've given it thorough, thoughtful approach, thorough review, and really taking time to get it right.
The supervisor appointed by the province to oversee the Ottawa Carleton District School Board announcing he's scrapping the controversial elementary program review.
It's going to be really important to understand exactly what is changing and what is the timeline of those changes and, what does that look look like and what does that mean for students, their families, and our communities. I know this whole process has taken a toll on a lot of families. There's been a lot of stress, a lot of upheaval.
In a letter to parents, Robert Plamondon, who has refused to do interviews, says the planned changes to programs, grade structures, and school boundaries would have been highly disruptive for students and families, and that instead the OCDSB will gradually reduce the number of program streams where it is practical to do so and where students are not compelled to change schools.
All the work that we've done, all the advocacy that we've done, all the meetings with the trustees that we've done, just gone. And we don't know what this all means to our kids and to us and to our schooling.
Parents fought and won to save special education programs in the initial review. The board says they will not be impacted, but some are still worried.
There's verbiage in that memo from the supervisor that suggests that they'll be moving towards having kids in their community schools and offering less of a variety of programming. And it's hard to not think that they're referring to special education programming.
Another issue for parents, committee meetings will no longer be live streamed.
The minister claims that boards under supervision are going to be in a much better place. Well, if that's the case, then why wouldn't you want to share this quote-unquote much better place with everybody in the community? It lacks transparency and, again, completely unacceptable in a democracy.
The education minister says he made the decision to end live streaming to keep meetings productive and professional rather than, quote, serving as a forum for political commentary. Parents are still waiting for specific details. The board says middle French immersion will still be phased out and no students will be enrolled in alternative schools next September. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. And we do have extended coverage of the supervisor's decision to cancel the OCDSB's elementary program review. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. A 32-year-old Ottawa man is facing charges in connection with an alleged hate-motivated assault. Police say a woman in a hijab was approached by a man at a gas station in the 3000 block of Carling Avenue yesterday morning. He allegedly shouted hateful slurs and assaulted her. The victim and suspect were not known to each other. Police did not provide any details on the victim's injuries, but say she has been offered community supports. And police are looking for witnesses to a suspicious fire in the city's south end. Emergency crews were called to a business in the Towngate Plaza on Bank Street just before 3 a.m. Tuesday. When firefighters arrived on scene, they found a lot of smoke inside the building. No one was inside at the time, and crews did manage to put it out before it spread. The arson unit is now investigating. With unemployment at a near decade high outside of the pandemic, thousands of people are searching for work. Here in Ottawa, a job fair today attracted hundreds of people, many who say despite trying for months, they have been unable to find a job. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us with more. Dylan.
Patricia, it's a sign of where Ottawa's job market is at right now. There were lineups wrapping around the inside of the Rogers Centre, Ottawa today. Hundreds of people with resumes in hand looking for any type of employment they could find. After waiting in long lines all morning, friends Alex and Grace are eager to get their resumes into the hands of a potential employer.
It's really difficult, especially online. You get ghosted a lot. No one really answers you when you apply. So I'm not getting no's, but I'm also not getting a yes.
The pair of recent graduates say over the past year, they've lost count of how many jobs they've applied to.
Probably hundreds.
I was going to say close to the 100 range.
At the Rogers Centre, Ottawa, Wednesday morning, they were among hundreds attending a career fair, hoping to get a job.
It's very difficult. It's very competitive. So much applicant on one position, and even you are selected for the interview, you're most likely not selected for the next round of hiring process.
Those looking to hire say many applicants are not suited to the jobs available.
We haven't been experienced a lot of the skilled trades coming to our booth, so it's definitely my push to try and educate as many people as I can of the benefits of getting into a skilled trade and working for the Government of Canada and the National Department of National Defence.
Our goal here today is to expand our offices and services into Ottawa, so we're looking to hire some people with military experience.
At the end of August, Statistics Canada said Ottawa's unemployment rate sat at 6.8%. Nationally, that number is even higher at 7.1%. Employers in attendance with jobs ready to be filled
by the right candidate.
We are seeing a lot of people who are completely changing industries because they're not able to find employment where they currently are.
A lot of IT or administration roles, resumes coming through, or what do you have for me? We'll take anything.
It's just pretty disheartening too. You like spend all that time, you know, I've done 2 degrees technically now, and then to have this much trouble to find a job after.
The job market even tougher for young people. Nationally over the summer, the unemployment rate for students aged 15 to 24 was 17.9%, the highest rate since the summer of 2009, excluding 2020 during the pandemic. Patricia.
Pretty discouraging for them. All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you.
So we have to take that heart out and through special techniques, preserve it, bring it back, and put it in the person and hope that the heart starts beating.
Just ahead, we'll have the details on a first-of-its-kind heart transplant in Canada that could help save more lives. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Beautiful night for the love of the beautiful game where we're honoring Desiree Scott. Today is her last regular season home match. She is set to retire, hence the pink headband. The Capital crew is ready to cheer on not just Scott, but also Ottawa Rapid FC. Kickoff is at 7:30. Here's a little taste of what you can experience. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, where we are showcasing Lansdowne and TD Place on this gorgeous evening. The sun slowly setting. Current temperature, 11 degrees.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Let's a Canadian first. A Toronto hospital has performed a transplant using a heart that was revived after the donor died and the heart stopped beating. It's something that could save more lives and certainly gives hope to those on an organ wait list. CTV's Heather Wright has more.
Nearly 1 million Canadians are living with heart failure, many waiting for a transplant that may never come.
Many of them never make it to actually get that good news, that phone call that we found a heart for you. So this will provide hope for them that there will be a heart.
That hope is care of a new procedure Dr. Syed Ali Reza Rabi performed in early September at Toronto General Hospital. A heart transplant from a donor whose heart had stopped beating. The first time this cutting-edge procedure has been performed in Canada.
The heart is warm, meaning that it's not cooled to protect it, and it is not getting oxygen or nutrients. So this is a vulnerable time for a heart. So we have to take that heart out and through special techniques, preserve it, bring it back, and put it in the person and hope that the heart starts beating.
Typically, heart donations come from people who are brain dead, but oxygen is still circulating in the body and their organs are still functioning. This procedure, first pioneered in Australia a decade ago, will open the pool of possible donors, and early data suggests the outcomes are similar.
And it looks like there is no difference between the outcome of the hearts of people who've received hearts from a traditional brain dead donor versus circulatory dead donor.
Right now, who is eligible for this procedure depends on where they live, as doctors don't want the donated heart to be outside of the body for more than an hour. But there is hope as new technology becomes available. Hearts will be able to travel anywhere in Canada, saving many more lives. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, it is certainly feeling more like fall in the capital. Plenty of sunshine today, a beautiful day over at the Central Experimental Farm, but it was definitely a chilly start to the day with seasonal temperatures returning to Ottawa and cooling off this evening. A little bit of a breeze as well as we get a full look at the forecast with Jackie, where I would say those pink headbands may be both symbolic and serving a purpose tonight.
I mean, it is keeping a little bit of my head warm. I could do the ear tuck and keep those warm as well. So thank you for that pro tip. I might use that tonight, especially when the sun sets. It's going to get much cooler as well. Right now, temperatures sitting at 11 degrees. We did see a daytime high about 15. It's those northwesterly winds, though, that are making things a lot cooler. I would even consider bringing a thicker, even my winter jacket, dare I say. The sun setting much earlier now at 6:29, and then the overnight lows, getting down to the freezing mark, close to it, 1 degree, a little bit of cloud cover into the evening. evening, but by midnight it should clear to some open, clear night skies. And then tomorrow we're in for some more sunshine, only 12 degrees the daytime high. I would even recommend having a thicker layer or a thicker sweater as well for tomorrow, because a light jacket certainly won't do it for this evening. Across the region, tonight's lows going down to about -2 in Pembroke, -4 in Bancroft, 2 degrees around Kingston and Brockville, where a frost advisory is in effect, and that's expected to last into Thursday morning. Because, yeah, fall is here, and it's getting very, very cold, and the nights are getting much shorter. Tomorrow's daytime highs really not surpassing the mid-teens. 12 degrees for in Ottawa as well as along the Seaway, 13 in Kingston, 10 in Bancroft. But the good news is really all throughout Eastern Ontario, we are expecting a wonderful stretch of some sunshine well into our Friday as well. Taking a look across Canada, 19 degrees in Halifax with a little bit chance of rain as well. And as we look towards Ontario, you can see all that cool air moving in from the north. Temperatures at 9 degrees in Sudbury, 14 degrees in Toronto, Windsor, 15 degrees. And as we look towards Western Canada, temperatures are sitting between 10, 11 degrees for Alberta, a warm 20 degrees for Saskatoon and Regina. So a little jealous of these temperatures. But again, we did have that wonderful heat wave move through for our Sunday and our Saturday. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. We did talk about the stretch of sunshine extending well into our Sunday, where there's an Atletico game as well, and temperatures will be much cooler, or warmer, I should say, than compared to today. We're getting up to 19 degrees for the weekend, but it's these overnight lows that are going to be tough to handle, where we are sitting around the freezing mark. Monday, Sens home opener, as well as Thanksgiving, daytime high, expected to be at 16 degrees, and that's when we could see some rain moving through the region. Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter Michael Bublé is coming to Ottawa on January 16th for one exclusive performance. It's a night to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Canadian Tire Centre, and we want you there. Get ready for your chance to experience one unforgettable night, singing along to all your favorites. Plus, one lucky viewer will win the grand prize, a pair of tickets in the first 5 rows. Scan the QR code to head over to ctvottawa.ca and enter for your chance to win. Good luck. All right, we are here at TD Place, Ottawa Rapid taking on Vancouver Rise FC, and that kicks off at 7:30. We'll also be hearing, because it is a special night, paying tribute to Desiree Scott, team captain who is set to retire at the end of this season. We'll be hearing from her, because we spoke to her ahead of the game, Patricia, as well as some wonderful fans who are here to share their love and support for Desiree Scott.
A proper send-off. Excellent. We'll talk to you in a bit, Jackie. Well, just ahead, some movement in the Canada Post strike. We'll share the latest developments after the break. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. The cost to rent an apartment went down in Ottawa last month, but one Eastern Ontario city has one of the highest average rents in Canada. CTV's Stephen Keys joins us now with the details on that and other stories. Steph?
Patricia, the average asking rent for properties across Canada dropped more than 3% in September, but that wasn't the case in Kingston. A new report shows the average rent in Kingston was $2,390 last month, up from $2,318 in August. Kingston now has the 4th highest rent in Canada. Here in Ottawa, the average rent was $2,190 in September, down $36 from August. The union representing 55,000 striking Canada Post workers will meet tonight with the federal minister in charge of the Crown Corporation. Last week, the procurement minister announced changes to Canada Post's mandate. It would mean the end of daily mail delivery, the expansion of community mailboxes, and the closure of some rural post offices. Canada Post welcomed the changes and tabled a new offer last week, but the union is accusing Parliament Hill of trampling on the collective bargaining process. The Pembroke Regional Hospital is warning patients that a shortage of physicians could mean longer wait times at the ER ahead of Thanksgiving. According to hospital officials, the shortage would impact patients coming in today, tomorrow, and Friday. If it isn't urgent, residents in the area are being encouraged to call the virtual health line instead. This is the third time in a month a notice like this has gone out. A warning tonight about the Rideau Canal's water levels. Parks Canada says the water could recede quickly because there wasn't that much rain this summer. Boating season on the canal officially ends Thanksgiving Monday, and so those using the waterway are being given a heads up. The low water level advisory was issued earlier today. And Air Transat will be launching non-stop flights from Ottawa to London Gatwick starting in May of next year. Officials with the airline say the new direct flights will operate 3 times a week on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Next year, Air Transat will also be offering a new Ottawa-Montreal route between May 5th and October 23rd. That flight is definitely under an hour and could appeal to business folk and concert goers who don't want to get behind the wheel. Not bad if you're thinking about going back and forth, maybe catching a little Taylor Swift if she ever comes back to the region. Patricia?
So I'm going to say no thank you to the flight to Montreal.
Okay.
I'll take the train, goes right in downtown.
Yeah.
But that flight to London sounds pretty good.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we want to head back out to Jackie, where a pretty good night is set to unfold at TD Place. Jackie.
Yeah, Patricia, this is Desiree Scott. Not live in action, but you're going to see a lot of these big heads all throughout the arena or the stadium as we honor one of soccer's greatest athletes for here in Canada, Desiree Scott. She's a 4-time Olympian, and she's also one of Canada's most decorated soccer players. She helped guide the Rapid to a playoff berth for their inaugural season. She actually retired in 2024, but decided to return when this league was announced. And here she is, finally hanging up her cleats at the end of this season. We had a chance to speak to her ahead of tonight's match, and here's what she had to say.
I had a good inkling what my timeline in this league would be. I think it was so important to be involved in year one, help get this thing off the ground, a league I've dreamed about, and to be able to play in it, help shed my leadership, my knowledge with the players here, help build a culture. I think it was just important, and it's been a wild ride and a journey that I'm very grateful for. To the future soccer players out there, I think just continue to love the game. You never know where an opportunity will take you, and right now we have the Northern Super League where you can go from grassroots all the way to the pros. So lace them up, love the game, and stay in it.
All right, now joining me, we've got co-founder of the Peregrines, and that is the supporter section for Ottawa Rapid FC. Lori, have you had a chance to just reflect on Desi's time here, as well as just the pink headbands in the stands?
Yeah, I think her impact on this team is just immeasurable. We feel so lucky that we've gotten to watch her play right here in Ottawa for a whole season, and I think maybe we took it for granted, and tonight kind of realizing actually how special that's been. And she's such an incredible player on and off the field, and we're definitely so lucky.
I really love talking to her. I'm like, was it your childhood dream to be a soccer player? And she said no, she wanted to be a background dancer for Usher.
There we go.
But life took her on a different journey, and for that we say thank you. I mean, you have this wonderful t-shirt on. Just explain or describe this to the crowd here.
Yeah, I mean, I designed these t-shirts for the supporters group. We've got about 30 people wearing them tonight, just kind of celebrating who Desi is, and just kind of our way of showing how much we appreciate her and how much we're going to miss her next season.
All right, she's watching here. What message do you have for her on behalf of all of the supporters here?
Thank you so much, Desi, for everything that you've done. You are such an icon on the field, and you're going to be so incredibly missed, and we're so lucky to have been able to watch you play all season.
Well, thank you so much, Lori. And again, we'll take it back to studio, but tonight, 7:30 is the kickoff to see Desiree Scott and Ottawa Rapid FC play their final regular season home game before they head into the playoffs. We'll take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
Maybe background dancer for Usher is next. Thanks, Jackie.
It could be another one of the levers that increases North American energy security, and so it certainly warrants exploring.
Just ahead, Prime Minister Mark Carney faces some tough questions after he returns from Washington without a trade deal.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in the nation's capital, back from his trip to Washington, without any tangible trade progress with the U.S. And now the U.S. Commerce Secretary is dismissing any deal that would address auto tariffs. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in Ottawa without a deal on tariffs. However, CTV News can confirm the Keystone XL pipeline was part of yesterday's discussion at the White House.
Prime Minister, did you and Mr. Trump agree to revive the Keystone XL pipeline?
Very good discussions on a wide range of issues, and I look forward to talking to Parliament.
A source with knowledge of the discussions in the Oval Office yesterday confirms reviving the Keystone XL pipeline was raised between the two leaders. The extension would bring Alberta crude into the U.S. It was in the context of more energy cooperation between the two countries, but was also linked to relief on steel and aluminum tariffs.
Certainly, it could be another one of the levers that increases North American energy security, and so it certainly warrants exploring.
South Bow is now the proponent of the project, and while the Canadian company isn't privy to conversations between the governments, a spokesperson tells CTV News, quote, South Bow is supportive of efforts to find solutions that increase the transportation of Canadian crude oil. While a pipeline may be possible, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is dismissing the prospect of an auto deal with Canada. Sources say at a Eurasia Group summit, Lutnick said the Americans could continue buying auto parts from Canada, but that's about it.
Auto pack's been around since the 1960s. You can't unscramble an egg, you have to make the omelet larger.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. On Parliament Hill, Opposition Leader Pierre Poilievre called out the Prime Minister for not getting a deal in D.C. and promising more investment in the U.S.
The Prime Minister went pathetically to the White House to offer a $1 trillion gift, bowing before the President in weakness.
We have the best deal with the Americans, and the third thing that's true is we will get an even better deal because we are.
A source with knowledge of the Oval Office discussion describes it as a very initial conversation to see if President Trump would be interested in reviving the Keystone expansion. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, just ahead, we meet our Myers Team of the Week. We'll be joined in studio by a group of Canada martial artists. Well, it's time now for our popular segment, the Myers Team of the Week. Teams are invited to send us a video to describe why their group is the greatest. Joining us tonight is Team Duvras Canada. This is a dedicated and obviously skilled group of martial artists who've earned their place among the best. They train 5 to 6 days a week, and though they face each other in competition, they remain each other's biggest supporters. Love that. The team is currently preparing to represent Canada at the World Karate Championships in Niagara Falls later this month, and they're here with us in studio. Great group. Thank you so much for being here. Sensei Nico, you're sort of in charge of these kids. You're teaching them everything they know. Yeah. You have a competitive team within this group that will be headed to Niagara Falls. Tell me about that.
Correct. Yeah. So we've been open for 3 years. This will be our second year going to the World Championships, and we have a group of 8 students this year.
Amazing. You compete in a few different disciplines, right? Are there 3 main disciplines, Angelina, that you compete within?
Yeah, so we compete in weapons, we do kata, and we do our sparring as well. So they're all very different, but they all have the same foundational respects, and we all have disciplines and stuff. So it's all different but the same.
Different disciplines, and I love that you use the word discipline, because I understand that martial arts, sort of beyond any other sport perhaps, is really excellent at teaching discipline, yes, at teaching resilience. Do you feel like you're benefiting both physically and mentally with what you're doing?
100%. I think that the mental side of karate is also very important, and we teach that a lot at our school. And me personally, I think that my mental state has really improved after joining Duvras Canada, and I think that's the same story for a lot of our team.
Sounds like you're 16 going on 30, which is amazing. Great group here. What do you love about these kids and their enthusiasm and teaching them some of the skills. What do you get out of it, Nico?
Yeah, well, they're all very dedicated to the team, which you don't always see it at this age. And yeah, they show up, they're consistent, they work really hard, and it's just overall a great group of kids. None of them are getting into trouble, using their martial arts in negative ways, and yeah, super proud of all of them for sure.
Amazing. It's expensive though, right, to go to tournaments and whatnot. Myers is here to help you with that. Ahmed, bringing in your check for $1,000. You're going to use this for some of your tournament expenses?
Yeah, so this is going to help out a lot with their tournament fees and registration expenses for sure.
Perfect. And why are you happy to be here supporting this great group?
So Myers is proud to be part of the community and to support the people that make it stronger. And just want to say congratulations. They're offering $1,000 for the dedication and hard work they put in for being the Myers Team of the Week.
Love it. And it is just that easy to be a strong, wonderful group like this one. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, just upload your video to ctvottawa.ca.
Great. This free food always tastes better.
Well, coming up, while you may have seen very long lines at Ottawa's 2 Chick-fil-A restaurants today, I was at Rideau Centre, it was big. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. The gates have officially opened. Everyone's ready to hit the stands. How are you feeling about Desiree Scott's final regular season home game?
It's upsetting, but she had a great season.
That's right, and we are not only here to cheer on Ottawa Rapid FC, but cheering them onto the playoffs. Isn't that right?
Yeah!
Let's look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showcasing Spark Street. The sun has already set because, yeah, we're in fall, so it is a cool evening. Stay warm and layer up if you are heading to the game tonight. Kickoff, 7:30.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Well, tomorrow on CTV, Your Morning Ottawa, how much is Thanksgiving dinner going to cost you this year? We learn more ahead of the big day this weekend. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. The Floor, shifting gears. George and Mandy's first marriage, back-to-back episodes of that, followed by The Amazing Race. We want to go back out to TD Place now for one final look at the weather. It looks a little chilly. The wind is blowing, but everyone ready to have a good time tonight, Jackie?
Everyone is ready to have a great time tonight because they are bidding their farewell and saying thanks to Desiree Scott as she plays her last final regular season for her career. But again, the gates have opened. Kickoff is at 7:30. So if you are heading down, make sure to bring a thick jacket. Tomorrow, starting off much cooler than what we have seen for the last couple of days. And when I say much cooler, we're close to the freezing mark. So when you're heading out the door at 7 a.m., 2 degrees is what we're starting with, only getting to a daytime high of about 12. But the sunshine will stretch well into our weekend. Great conditions for the Atletico game on Sunday, daytime high 19 degrees. And as we look towards Thanksgiving and the Sens home opener, there is a slight chance we could see a little bit of rain. So I'm going to take the sunshine over the wet weather that we had yesterday. And I'll just layer up and wear more jackets as we're out here on the field and spend more time outdoors the next coming days. Patricia, Stefan, I'll take it back to you in studio.
That Thanksgiving weekend forecast looks amazing, so we'll wait for that for sure. Thanks, Jackie. We want to check in and see what our team is working on for tonight. Steph is here for the 11:30.
Thank you, Patricia. We know the union representing postal workers will be meeting with the federal minister that oversees the Crown Corporation, but as that is happening, the Shepherds of Good Hope is the latest local charity to share the impact the postal workers strike is having on them. We're learning that about a quarter of their donations come in by mail, and so like the mission, they're worried about this going on much longer. Workers have been on the picket lines for nearly 2 weeks now. Get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca and join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
after the Jays game. Hopefully
Yes.
we'll be talking about a bit of success.
Well,
down
last
in
night
New
it
York.
ended late.
Yeah, it was an 8 o'clock start last night, 7 o'clock tonight, so you'll be all right.
Okay, thank goodness.
And finally for us tonight, this was crazy today. I walked by one of these lines. Ottawa's 2 Chick-fil-A restaurants, busier than usual, way busier. The fast food chain offering free chicken sandwiches.
Great. This free food always tastes better.
So customers were waiting in line for a complimentary chicken sandwich at Tanger outlets today. Chick-fil-A says the giveaway is to, quote, express our gratitude for allowing us to be a part of your community.
Not bad. It's for free.
I mean, it's free, so we just came here. You know, love Chick-fil-A and stuff.
And I love what they're doing. You know, they're supporting the community, giving free burgers.
Yeah, absolutely. The giveaway taking place at all locations across Ontario. So long lines at the second restaurant in Ottawa, which was at the Rideau Centre earlier today. You can still get a free sandwich until 8 p.m. So I don't know, some of the people from here might race over there.
Well, now you just made the line longer, Patricia.
I saw the line. I stopped and asked someone who was eating, how long were you in line? They said about 30 minutes. It looked like it would have taken the full day.
even for free $3.99, that's a little too long.
When you don't have to pay, it moves more quickly.
Apparently it tastes better, though, when you don't have to pay.
We want to say good night and thank you to our fabulous team of the week, this group from Duvras, Canada, off to Niagara Falls at the end of the month. Good luck to you. Have a good evening, everyone.